Hi, I'm Lisa and welcome to my channel, The Southern Seamstress. Well, I think it's been about a month since I did my last video and I hope everyone's been doing well during that time. I haven't gotten a lot of sewing done, but I've been busy doing some other things. Gardening is another one of my favorite hobbies, so I've been busy getting some flowers and vegetables planted in my gardens. Also, my dad just started dialysis. He's been having declining kidney function for several years now, and he finally gave in to going to the dialysis clinic. My siblings and I have been taking turns along with his wife getting him to the clinic and back and making sure he gets enough nourishments because these visits can be really exhausting to a person. My son also just got a new dog that he adopted from the local animal shelter, and it looks like a Boston Terrier mix, and it's about 9 months old, but it is still all puppy. He doesn't live with me, but he's brought it over a couple times while he's been doing some yard work for me. So I've been watching his dog, and the first time it was over, I tried to work in my sewing room while the dog was in the other part of the house, and when I went to the other part of the house, I had several house plants that were strung all over the floor. So now when he comes over, I know that I have to keep an eye on him so I don't get much done while he's here. So I thought in today's video I would share with you some fabric that I got recently from a couple of different fabric stores. Now, I did have a goal at the beginning of the year to try not to buy much fabric and just work from my fabric stash. And I did really well during the winter. I don't think I bought any new winter fabrics because I had plenty to work with, and I only got 2 or 3 winter items made. So I did good not buying winter fabrics. And I wasn't going to buy any summer fabrics either. So I had a few new patterns that I wanted to make this year that I either didn't have the right fabric or I didn't have enough of the right fabric. But before I jump into sharing the fabric with you, I will let you know that I am wearing a me-made t-shirt. This is the Gem Tee by Style Art Patterns. It's really been probably my favorite t-shirt pattern that I've made in the last couple of years, at least for short sleeve. I like that it's a little bit of relaxed but still a little fitted, and I like the scoop of the neckline. Now, I also really like the Ellis tee that Style Art has, but I've only made it in a long sleeve t-shirt. So I do hope to make a short sleeve version of that one also. So I'm going to be sharing fabric from 2 different online fabric stores, and one of them I have purchased from several times and the other one is brand new to me. One day when I was watching a video about someone sharing about different fabric stores to get fabric from, someone in her comments had mentioned the Fabric Depot, and I had never purchased from them or really seen a fabric haul from them either. With the name Fabric Depot, I thought they probably had some good prices on their fabric, so I wanted to order a few pieces and see what kind of quality they offered. A couple of the patterns that I wanted to make that I didn't have fabric for were knit tops. Now, I had several pieces on hand of some cotton, jersey, spandex knit, but the 2 or 3 patterns I want to make really need a lighter weight knit than the pieces I had on hand. Besides the knitted top patterns, there were a couple of dress patterns that I had from It's to Stitch that I would really like to make up this summer, and they call for like a light to mid-weight cotton, like cotton lawn or cotton poplin. So when I went to these fabric stores online, I kind of just targeted looking at the lightweight jersey knits and cotton poplin and cotton lawn. So I think I'll just share the 3 top patterns first before I show the fabric. And the first one is Style Art's Evie knit top. Now, this is sort of a tank style top, but it's not real fitted. It's got quite a bit of ease and drape and flow to it, and it looked like it would be really cool to wear in the summer. This pattern suggests jersey fabrics, and it even has the word slinky. So it needs a thinner, slinkier type knit than a cotton spandex would be. The second knit top that I'd like to make is by It's to Stitch, and it's their Solar knit top. Now, this one calls, I think, for a light to medium weight jersey knit. And then the third knit top that I want to make is one I've already made, and it is the Style Art Olive Split Tee. Now, I think I made this top last summer. The sewing instructions were great and it made up really easily, But I'd like to make it again and change a couple things. One thing, I'd like to size down one size because it turned out about a size too big. And I actually gifted it to one of my sisters who is about one size larger than I am. And I had made it from like a cotton jersey, sort of a medium weight knit, and I felt like it would have turned out better with a thinner, more drapey knit. So that's two reasons I want to remake that top. So from the Fabric Depot, I ordered several solid colors of their bamboo solid stretch jersey. I think the knit fabric that I got from them, they were all between $5 and $7 a yard, except there's one in here, I think a gray piece, that was $10 a yard. I'm not sure why. It was more expensive because I think they're all like a bamboo jersey knit. So here's the first piece, and I think they called it pink, but it's more of a deep rose color. So I know I'm going to probably be color blocking that olive split tee. So I tried to get some colors that would kind of coordinate together and look good together. And on most of the pieces I got like 1.5 yards because I thought I could make a solid t-shirt, short sleeve t-shirt if I wanted it to, and then have probably 1/2 yard left over to put with a color block t-shirt. So this is the same fabric but kind of a light gray color. So I think those two look good together. And then this is more of the same type fabric, and it's very soft. It's going to be really comfortable to wear in this pretty turquoise color. Now I had said one of the pieces was $10 a yard, and I think it was this gray. So, but it's just like the other two, so I'm not sure why it was more per yard than the other ones, because it feels just like the rose and the turquoise. And then the last piece of this solid bamboo knit is kind of this pretty, kind of a medium dusty purple color. So I think probably any of these would look good together for a color block tee or just on their own. Now I did get a couple more knits from there. I got this kind of hot pink, it's a cotton rib knit jersey. So it's definitely thicker than what I just showed you, and it's got more stability in body. It's not as drapey, but it is fairly stretchy. They actually call this bubblegum pink. So I've got 1.5 yards. So it will probably be some sort of t-shirt. I've got some other cotton jerseys in my stash. We'll also match this if I want to do, you know, some color blocking. So when I was on their website, I was trying to search to see if they had any printed jersey knits instead of just getting all solids. So the only printed knit that I saw that I liked was this bright pink one that has this white little berry vine on it. And it's almost the same color as this. It's not quite as bright. And it is softer and it's not ribbed. So it's fairly lightweight too. So I think it would definitely work well for the itch to stitch top that I showed you. So I did get a couple of woven pieces from Fabric Depot. And when I was shopping for the woven cotton fabric, I had 2 dress patterns in mind. They're both by Itch to Stitch. And the first one is the Ladera dress, which looks just kind of like a simple shirt dress with a front tie to it. And she's wearing it right below the knee. And I would probably make mine just right above the knee since my legs are so short already. The Ladera dress calls for like a medium weight cotton. So I thought a cotton poplin or cotton lawn, either one would probably work well for it. And then the other dress pattern I had that I really want to make is the Camilla's dress by Itch to Stitch. Now this dress, I guess, could be like a midi or a maxi style dress. She shows it just a few inches above the ankles. And you can make this dress either with 2 tiers or 3 tiers in the skirt. So when I was searching the cotton lawn, I will say that there weren't a lot of just prints that I really liked, but they did have some really good prices on them. And I found 2 that I thought might work, and they were really inexpensive, so I thought I'd take a chance and try a couple out. So the first one I want to show you is this dotted fabric. Now this is a cotton lawn and it is fairly thin, not super thin. I will say it's about the same thickness as some of the cotton lawn that I've got from Minerva. It's got a really nice feel to it, a little bit of a silky feel to it. Now they call this lipstick pink and ivory, but to me it almost looks like a cherry red, but they call it lipstick pink. So I thought this would work well with the Camilla's dress that has the tiered skirt. So I went ahead and got 3 yards of it. And this fabric was $7 a yard. So that is just a really good price, I think, for cotton lawn. It's the cheapest cotton lawn that I think that I've purchased. So the 3 yards was only $21. So it's going to make a pretty inexpensive dress. I'm just hoping that I don't look like Minnie Mouse, because it kind of reminds me of a Minnie Mouse dress. I did wash and dry this fabric and it did come out really well. I haven't pressed it and you can tell it doesn't really have any wrinkles in it. So I was really pleased with that. Now the last piece of fabric that I ordered from them, I wasn't really sure how it was going to look in person, because you just saw, you know, a little square of it on the screen, but it is another cotton lawn and it's a blue-green ombre stripe. So it's got these embroidered, kind of like suns almost. They remind me kind of more of like a sun than a flower. But so it starts out light on the top and then it has these stripes, but the bottom edge has more embroidery. And it's got a metallic gold thread and some turquoise thread, and it looks maybe like a little brown bronze thread. So I think this is going to be really interesting. I don't know if I'll make a dress out of it. I may just make like a maxi tiered skirt and then try to just hem it right at the bottom of this embroidery scalloped line here. This piece also came out fairly well in the washer and dryer, not too wrinkly. Now that piece of cotton lawn was even less expensive than the dotted fabric. It was only about $5.50 a yard. So I thought that was a really good buy. So all 3 yards, if I make a dress, would be less than $17. So that's all my fabrics that I got from the Fabric Depot. So I was really pleased with the pricing, and I thought the quality of the pieces I got were good, and I have washed and dried all of them. Now on their order information sheet, when you get it, it has washing instructions and drying, and on the bamboo knits, some of them they said like machine wash, air dry, and some of them said hand wash, air dry, even though they're the same fabric. I actually washed all of mine. I think I did do them on delicate, and then I dried them on low, and they came out fine. But I think when I make a top out of them, I probably will air dry them. I'll probably machine wash them on delicate, but I will probably air dry them. I just didn't want to try to air dry 1.5 yards of each of these fabrics. Now the remaining fabric pieces that I want to share are all from Minerva. Now, a while back, I think they were having a sale, like 25% off or something, of all their cotton fabrics. So that's what I targeted when I was on their website. I looked for some cotton jerseys or cotton poplin or cotton lawn. Now, I did get quite a few pieces. I had made some selections that kind of went with some of these patterns, and I added a couple more items just so I could get free shipping. Now, if you live in the UK, it doesn't take much of an order to get free shipping, but I think in the US, you had to get a minimum of $100, so that was what I was going for. So the first piece of fabric is a piece of cotton poplin, and it's one that I've gotten before, and I didn't get it to make any clothing pieces. I've used this before on some of my non-clothing items that I've made, like some of my kitchen items. I know I used it for the lining of my hot pads and some of my pot holders. I think it's just a really neat looking gray, black and white print that goes well with a lot of the little prints that I use for some of my little projects. So I had used nearly all of the previous piece I had gotten from them, so I went ahead and got another piece of this. So I got 2 more pieces of cotton poplin. Here's the second one. I thought this was a really cute print. Now the one thing I didn't like about ordering on Minerva is sometimes they don't show you what scale things are in. Now, sometimes they will show a picture and it'll have a ruler by it, and then you can kind of tell, well, is this flower an inch or 2 inches or 3 inches? And then sometimes they'll show a picture, maybe a dress form with the fabric over it, or something that someone's made. Someone submitted a photo and they're wearing it, so you can tell how big the scale is. I think this one did that, so I did expect it to be fairly small, you know, not teeny tiny. So I am really happy with it. I think I got just over a yard, maybe a yard and a third or a fourth, but plenty to make a cute summer woven top. I know I have several little summer woven top patterns that I haven't made yet, so I'll probably be making up one of them in this fabric. This fabric I think would also work well for any of my little non-clothing projects, you know, little tote bags or zipper pouches, or it's just a really cute print. So I think this will be useful for apparel or non-apparel. So here is another cotton poplin. Now I had ordered, I think, a yard and a third of this, and I had a little top in mind, I think, that called for just a little over a yard. Now on this one, they did send me an email and said, hey, this is a dead stock fabric. We do have a yard and a third, but we're going to have to give it to you in 3 pieces. And of course, they ask your permission first if they can't do it in one solid piece. So I think my largest piece is like 0.7 of a yard. And then I've got like a 0.3 and maybe a 0.25 or something. So I was undecided at first because I thought it might be hard to get a top out of it, but I thought it's so cute. I can use it for some of my little gift idea videos. If I'm making a little pouch or something, it would look cute in a non-apparel, just a accessory. And it has their poplin has a really nice feel to it, a nice sheen, almost like a cotton lawn, but I'm pretty sure this was a cotton poplin. So I've got this. I'm not sure what it's going to be because I've got 3 different pieces of it. So the last piece of cotton poplin that I got is this cute pink, gray, and white print that's got these circles with the word love in some of them in hearts. Now this was one that I didn't know what the scale was going to be. It didn't have a ruler, I don't think. If it did, I missed it. It didn't tell, you know, how many inches the pattern repeated in, or show it on someone, or show it made up in anything. So I just had to kind of take a chance on it. I really was hoping that the circles would be quite a bit smaller, because I was thinking maybe the Ladera shirt dress, but I think it may just be too much if I make a whole dress out of it, because I'm short and kind of small framed. I'm not sure, but I think maybe a top would be cute with just a solid, you know, shorts or pants or skirts. I do like the colors, and I do think the little hearts are cute. And this fabric would probably look really cute in even like a tote bag or a purse or bag, pouch, something like that. So I think it'll be useful for apparel and non-apparel items. So as I was adding some fabric to my order to get the free shipping, I started looking at some of their knits too, and I got this really cute butterfly flower knit. I think it's a cotton knit jersey, and it, I would say, is light to medium thickness, has some good stretch to it. So I'll probably be making some type of t-shirt with this. It's got a little bit of a gray taupe in it. Now, I can't remember if I knew the scale of this one before I ordered it, but I am happy with the scale of this print, because they're not, the butterflies aren't too big, but they are big enough to show up and look cute. Now, this isn't a rib knit, but I think this other hot bubblegum pink rib knit goes well with this, so I may wind up putting those two together. I think I've also got some bright pink knit from Minerva before that would also coordinate with these butterflies. So I've got one more knit to show you, and it's this pretty kind of a dusty purple. It's kind of like the other purple, except it's not bamboo. It's just a, I guess, a cotton jersey. It is a thinner knit, so I think it will be pretty drapey. And it's got just some little stars, just some little white stars in it. So I'm considering making the Stylarc Evie tank with this fabric. I think it's flowy enough to work well. Now the last piece I have to show you is a double cotton gauze. Now this is, I think, the first piece of cotton gauze that I've ordered, so I haven't sewn with it before, and I really don't know what I'm going to make with this, but it had a pretty good sale price, so that I thought I would try it out. But it's just got a black background, and it has these kind of iridescent, bright colored butterflies. I really like fabric that has butterflies and birds on it. And these are really pretty butterflies. It's pretty soft feeling. So I'm not sure what I might make out of that. If you've got any suggestions, you can let me know. So I almost forgot that I've got one more thing to share with you. When I did my order with Minerva, I ordered what they call their 1 kilo fabric scrap bag. So it's just a bag that weighs a kilo of different types of fabrics, and you can't specify what kind of fabrics you want, and they are all different sizes, and it said that some of them could be fairly small. I think they say the smallest is going to be at least, I don't know, 2 inches wide or maybe 4 inches, but it's kind of like a little surprise bag. I can't remember if that was on sale too, but anyway, for it I paid $6.63, which comes out to 4.99 pounds. So I wanted to show you what I got in my bag, just in case you've been on their website and you've seen this offered, but you weren't really sure what you'd be getting. Okay, so for the 1 kilo, this is the stack of fabric that I got, and it is quite an assortment, I would say. Okay, I'm going to start out with a piece of fabric that I thought was most usable for me. And it's also the largest piece, I think, too. And it's this cotton knit fabric that's kind of a dusty blue with these white stars. It kind of reminds me of the purple with the little white stars, but these stars are just a little bit bigger, and it is, I think I measured it, I think it's about 18 inches long, and then of course the width is, I guess, 50 something inches. So this was one of the biggest pieces, and it was probably the fabric type that I would work with the most. So these other pieces are really random. This is a forest green, and it feels like lining material, you know, like a polyester type fabric. It's probably a little bit longer than the knit. I'd say it's about almost 20 inches probably. So there's that piece. So I'll probably use this maybe like when I'm making a bag or a pouch or maybe a tote, something that needs a lining, a silkier type lining. I hopefully can use this. Okay, now here is another piece of knit, and it is in a color that I would never ever order for myself because I just don't look good in this dark mustard rust colored, but it's not enough to make a piece of clothing anyway. You can see it's only this big, this long, but it's really stretchy. It's really drapey, and it's like a slinky, thinner type knit. I really have no idea what I'm gonna use this for. So if you can think of something, please put it in the comments below and let me know what you think it might be good for. Now, I can think of something it might be good for, but I wouldn't wear it because I don't like the color. But you know those headbands that have the little twist at the top, and they're made out of like a t-shirt knit? Now this would work for that. Okay, so here is another, oh, it's like a polyester crepe, I would say. And it is a pretty purple color. Kind of a reddish purple. And this is how long this piece is. Several of them are about 18 inches, 18 to 20 inches. So, you know, it's really long. So it's kind of silky. I think it would also make a good lining for a pouch or a bag or something. Normally my gift making projects, I don't use, you know, polyester synthetic fabrics or anything silky. I normally use like a cotton poplin or a canvas or a denim, you know, something like that. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this purple fabric. It reminds me of a fabric that my mom might have gotten years and years ago to make like a blouse or a skirt out of. So now this is a piece which is almost just like that purple, but it's dark navy blue. And this is about the same width of that. So maybe close to half of a yard, a little bit less probably. So that's probably going to be some type of lining too. So the next piece is not very long. It's just a solid black, and I would say this is a cotton poly blend. You know, something that you might make some slacks with if you had enough fabric. So, you know, black's always a good basic color when you're making little projects, to have some solid blacks and whites and ivories. So I may be able to use this since it does feel like it's got a lot of cotton in it, to use for my little projects. So most of these scraps were solid colors. I was really hoping, you know, for more prints. Now this is kind of a crinkly stretch, semi-transparent white fabric, feels like polyester. And I guess if you wanted like a scarf or something, that might work. Not sure what I will make out of this either. So 2 more pieces, and they are definitely fabrics that I would not normally buy. We have this kind of stretchy metallic black leopard print. So it's kind of slinky, it's soft, stretchy. I guess maybe someone would make like a sweater, a pullover with it if they had enough fabric. Of course, this is not enough fabric for that. I'd say it's only about maybe 14 inches or so. I think this is the right side facing you here. It has got some pretty metallic sheen to it. I guess if someone liked to wear leopard print scarves, they can make a scarf with it. So I'm not sure what I'm going to be using that piece for either. And then the last piece is totally different from the other ones. I'm not even sure what this type of fabric would be described as. It's not really a brocade, but it's got this lace. It's got this green lace that is bonded on to this kind of a rusty burgundy synthetic type fabric on the back. You know, it's more like an upholstery fabric, but I don't know, maybe like a Victorian style couch or something. So I think I might make maybe like a little zippered pouch with this. That might be cute. Probably not like a bag I would wear because it wouldn't match anything I have. But it may come in handy for one of my, you know, gift idea videos, making something, a pouch or something. So that's the last piece. So my thoughts on this scrap bag. I thought it was fun ordering it for one time for under $7 just to see what was in it. Now, was I crazy about the fabrics that I got? Not really. I was really hoping that I would get more prints and that I would get more cotton top fabrics like cotton poplin, cotton lawn, cotton jersey, like quilter's cotton. I knew the pieces were going to be small, so I really was hoping to get pieces that I could use in my little gift idea videos that I make up with the little bags and pouches and things that don't take a lot of fabric. But when you order this bag, you can't specify what type of fabrics, you can't specify what colors. It's just this random surprise that you get. So I'm not sorry that I ordered it. I'm happy to have ordered it to see what it would be like and to be able to share it with you guys so that you could get an idea of what it might be like if you ordered one. And it might make you decide that you don't want to spend that money and order one. I don't think I'll be ordering any more of their kilo bags, but it was fun kind of going through this one. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you have any suggestions for some of these fabric scraps that I showed you, I would love to hear those ideas in the comments below. So I don't know how much sewing I'm going to get done in the next few weeks. I'm still going to be helping my dad, and we've got a little trip planned, or that I'm actually planning right now for my husband and I and our dogs. We're going to take off, I think, the first week of May and go out towards, I think our main goal is Savannah, Georgia. So we wanted to go to the coast. We've never been to that historic town, and I think we'll be stopping a couple of times on the way there. We're not going to take our RV this time. We've actually decided to sell our RV. We've had several RVs through the past, and this last one was our biggest RV, which was a 35-foot fifth wheel, and we just decided on our last trip that it was just too long to drive around. It was really kind of difficult maneuvering through like gas stations and small parking lots, and of course I don't even attempt to drive it. And on the last trip, my husband accidentally turned down through a drive-through at a restaurant that was very narrow, had like a fence on one side, and we punched a hole in our smaller slide out. So after that trip, we decided to get some repairs done and sell the thing. So hopefully we can get it sold this summer. We've got it at an RV lot that works on commission. So this time, just taking our truck and renting places that are dog friendly off of Airbnb. So it'll be a lot less packing to do, and it should definitely be a more relaxing drive, not having to worry about that thing behind us. And we might get a smaller RV in the future, maybe like a 22-foot or something like that, because we really do like to go camping. Especially here in Arkansas, we have a lot of pretty state parks, and some of them have cabins, but a lot of times those cabins are booked up or they're not dog friendly. So I would like to have a small camper to camp out in the state parks. Of course, my husband said we can always tent camp, but I told him that I was way past tent camping. I haven't done that in several decades, and I never plan to do that again. I like to have a bathroom within a few feet and sleep in a nice comfortable bed and know that I'm not going to be rained on. So I hope to be back with you guys in a few weeks, and until I see you in my next video, take care and happy sewing.